I feel as though does he make it? Is there any sort of evaluation or appraisal going on here? It's just a simple statement of fact. He's just going to be.
No worries.
Oh, okay. Is he proclaiming?
Which one?
He's going to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
He's not subscribing to a particular position. He's not a possibility to go to the beach.
But he is proclaiming it somehow.
He's very close to what he says. He's not distancing himself. So
That is just really an assertion.
it's an assertion.
Yeah, it's just a straight.
Yeah. Straight assertion.
There's not I believe or I concur or
Okay.
So then radio has
Radio.
a very shop and restaurants and
Hotel. So it's obviously got many. And so that's
that's the fourth. We've already identified that as a fourth.
yeah. I would suggest that it's got positive meanings here. I mean, in my case, I wouldn't want it to, but he probably thinks it's good to have lots of shows.
So you mean it's a positive? He hasn't put it in the negative. He's definitely put it in the positive.
Well, that's right. So, and yet he hasn't included the word many.
No.
So a list of nouns grouped like that.
That shows
Kind of abundance somehow.
Yeah. So what would we call that? A force with graduated positive force.
Oh, have you?
Okay.
In the summer.
Really? Aren't you going to do this one?
No, we finished it.
Did you?
So here he's talking again about, I would suggest the same. Positive force.
Very popular.
Very much.
Yes.
So what would that be? Positive force of graduation.
No.
And they have a very,
Well, I'll tell you what.
very many
Rather than
things.
jump
It's
ahead,
very
if you want
good.
to attack something, have a look there. However, what
Yeah,
about
it seems to be
still on this one?
positive,
What would you say the person,
positive words of force under
Needs.
the,
especially in
graduation.
the area of force?
he seems to be stuck on that sort of
Yeah.
area. So I guess if you
Okay,
were
we
to
are
say
going
what
to
does
the
this
beach.
person need, it would be probably to expand
The vocabulary to
into,
describe,
which,
to describe positive things or
or
So
to
where would
get
you put
some
modifier?
evaluation coming through with engagement.
That's right. So they need more force
I mean,
resources.
but then again, it's just about a place,
And it's a one.
and it's
Can
only
you see
100.
where would you say they need?
Well, the good is the appreciation and the very is the intensity thing.
Very
Yes.
much visitors, so
Yes.
especially the four nouns, they need
Yes, that would be appreciation
more resources.
like
that.
under,
Yep. That's right. Also,
yeah,
back on, we are
appreciation
going to
under
the beach.
attitude, yeah. This is the good holiday,
We are going to the beach.
appreciation
What
under
does the
attitude.
phrase say?
Um,
I've just said, and asked the ladies.
And beautiful is appreciation,
But he's
and
identified
very
himself
seems to be coming up all the time. And I mean, you only have to look at that for 1 second and you can see that they
see the
really
beach
modify
the
it.
shore of the lake.
Yeah.
But we need to look at the level as well.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Say
Yeah, I was
why you
thinking of
like the
like-
space.
We often go to the
Yeah.
beach. You know, this is
Well,
not
so-
so we often or we usually or we always go, something like
yeah,
that.
it's
So
the sort of
again,
basic
that's a
vocabulary
force.
that
we
you
need
build
something
on
about
from.
like what
So
we
you can build on all of
usuality.
those
Yeah.
We often
words
go,
and
we always
expressions.
go, we frequently go
Yeah.
high to this level. Just even often.
And that's added, if you're going to move on to the next level, you would want them to give it, putting a little bit of focus into it. So,
Yes.
you know, about what it is about radio that's good. Okay, why is it a good holiday?
And even
Yeah, yeah.
even in the summer,
So you could introduce some clauses, more
You could even put
complex.
it usually. A lot of visitors, you know,
And you'd also want to
usually
get
come a lot of
into
visitors. Again,
engagement in
using
terms of
usuality there.
the author's
Phil.
identification with the town and saying,
He's engaged from the first lines of my town is.
yeah, yeah.
But if it's a higher, then that's how look at what ways of expanding. Like, I know that some people feel that the radio is too crowded. But the sea with its one.
Okay, so for time purposes, speed things up. I'll suggest what. When I went to Sydney, some of you know Helen Fraser, so we went together. She's really into this. She's doing a PhD in using this stuff, so we get together every so often and sharpen our axes together. So we worked on this together, and I got some good ideas from her. That was helpful. But so this is kind of what we thought of the piece. So what you think. Just one thing earlier on, he says, or she, Radio Lake has very clean water and a fish. What does he mean to say? She mean to say?
Clean fish.
And
Well, there are lots of
some
fish.
some.
Some fish, probably even many fish. Like it's
Yeah.
clean and it's it's healthy, isn't it? It's probably, yeah. So many. If we wanted, so in other words, what's missing? We're not only seeing what resources the person has, but what they need. So where would you say many fish?
Under graduation.
It is.
Under
Yeah. So it seems like they need this resource.
Yeah.
There's another spot they need it, isn't it? Later out in the summer comes a very much visitors. I mean, much is getting close. It's just a capability question. But many would help there. Also, radio has a very shops. That's a more problematic spot. Many shops or very many shops. So again, there's this problem with force and not controlling that adequately or not having that resource. It doesn't appear. And it seems this person's almost struggling around getting this word.
Well, they need alternatives, don't they?
Yeah.
They need a greater vocabulary.
Exactly.
Of those.
And it's building alternatives across, trying to get a reasonable spread across these functions. And many fish. Now, we are going to the beach and swimming in this. That sounds like, okay guys, we're going to the beach.
In the future.
They want to make a general statement here, don't they? We thought we are often going to the beach.
Yeah.
Well, we always go, basically it's following on in terms of intention from the last statement. This is such a nice lake that we often go. That's the kind of emotional logic.
Yeah.
So this person needs this often. Again, it's force. But it's not this sort of numerical quantity, it's usuality.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they would probably need it there. And then we've got those quantity ones, very many shops. In the summer, again, possibly often come, many visitors, or usually, or something like this. So possibly usually, or always. So it's just this little category here that would be of assistance. So if you've got this person's writing, or several people's writing, they're demonstrating this sort of thing, it's kind of like the point is it's a diagnostic tool. You can see what they're good at, where their learning edge is, what they need next.
Just to be pedantic.
Yeah. Go for it, Pat.
If you can't be pedantic here,
Where can you?
So, in fact, that's a pretty good sentence, isn't it? In the summer comes a very many visitors. I mean, they've chosen a sort of a simple form rather than a continuous form.
And that's a
Uh-huh.
replication of
Yeah.
So
Italian
in fact,
grammar.
you don't really
Is
need,
it?
First,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
you don't really need a adverb, really. You can say,
Yeah.
many visitors come in the summer. It's perfect, really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Because simple present
Because of the simple
Yeah.
form.
uh,
True.
you know, more than once.
Yep. Yeah. And the fact that this person, I mean, if we go classic for a minute, who have a very good holiday, there's a little relative clause there, pretty strong.
They're highly advanced.
Yep. So that's something strong. But again, you know, that's outside this framework. This framework isn't going to tell us this, so we've got to be switching hats all the time, and you know, pick some things up with the classical method and others with this method. But I think we all agree we've been trained more the other, and that this framework and this hat we probably need to develop the vocabulary of a bit more. Yeah. Yeah.
They've got some ability with their spelling, because the very has, oh well actually,
The Vesi.
well no, it's an R, I've just realised.
It is an R, but then
No,
it's
it's-
also used as an S
No,
somewhere, isn't it?
no, it's the way they write their R.
It is, but there was somewhere where
Like visitors
Visitors.
is the,
Is it
yeah,
visitors?
that's true,
Yeah.
the S in visitors
Yeah.
is
It's a
there.
lot like the other.
yeah,
But they're experimenting with
Zestero.
spelling, because they've obviously a double R for the last very
yeah.
is what makes sense to them if they're thinking of cherry and berry.
Mm.
Sorry, I forgot.
No worries. Okay. Catch ya.
Thanks.
All right, we'll push on. 1 plus. Getting a bit hard for these guys. We're up to 1 plus, so they've gone. So, what if we? I think that's probably all from that. But can you see the point of the exercise that we're getting? We kind of see where they're strong, but like. If we had to, you know, sum up, really, it's this force area, isn't it, where we need to develop more resources. If we didn't have this method, we'd be going through and correcting. I don't know if we'd quite arrive at it. We probably think, oh yeah, they need to do this and they need to do that. But as a teacher, we wouldn't understand at that meta level. Oh, it's actually about controlling force. So, and I think that's a useful and helpful thing.
Instead, we'd be saying, oh, there's too many berries there. Let's think of
Yeah,
alternative
yeah,
words you could be
exactly.
using.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Mm.
And we wouldn't necessarily be linking it with this pattern here,
Mm.
because so got it. Yeah, but actually it is kind of one and the same broad problem.
You'd be really thinking about countables and uncountables, wouldn't you? You'd be thinking, well, how can I
Yeah.
get this across a bit better?
And so not at all comfortable with articles, you know.
Yeah.
Put them
Yeah.
in everywhere because they know that there are more in English than there are in Italian.
And the shotgun effect, just shoot
Yes,
and you,
yes.
some will hit. Yeah, no worries.
It's like shooting a fish in a well.
Yes. Yeah, and both those perspectives will tell us important things. So it's not a matter of rejecting one, but working with both. All right, let's have a look at the 1 plus. Write a letter to a friend. So I think the purpose, we've always got to be looking at the purpose. The last one was a descriptive thing. And this one is a recount because it's telling your friend what you've been doing lately. So we might expect a different pattern. So it's about expressing yourself and probably not, hopefully not just saying what you've been doing, but passing some sort of reflection or judgment on that. How have you been doing since I left Sydney? I've been doing very well. I got a job a month after I arrived in Tokyo. I worked for a credit company as a receptionist. I liked working there at first, 2 months. It was very busy, then getting quieter and quieter. I was getting bored. Then I quit that company. Next job was an office work for a metal trading company. I assisted a sales representative making invoice, receiving orders. Yeah.
It's a pretty strong 1 plus.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, I reckon it is. going on, and in 10 minutes we'll pull it together.
Well, I guess he's very engaged. Yeah, the person is writing to, or she.
But in,
I mean, engagement is dialogic in essence. So, proclamation, entertainment, would it be proclamation because the writer is basically, well, it's a funny thing that subscribing to a particular position, it includes pronouncements of personal statements, so
Yeah, but it's...
like, how are you? Do we include questions?
The writer responds to something, affirms something, anticipates possible responses.
Oh, yeah, there you go, yeah. So which part of engagement do you think would be proclamation? That
Maybe
first question.
proclamation, yeah.
I think the
Or
first
entertainment.
sentence is just there's no appraisal in that, I don't.
But it is
It's a what part?
I don't think there's any appraisal in that.
but there is
They're trying to do it.
in terms of distance, it's close to the receiver, isn't it?
It is close to the receiver.
If this is supposed to be appraisals,
Yeah.
then, you know, you've
No.
got very well, light,
Yeah.
quieter and quieter, pretty busy.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, even if a question about someone's personal health, how are you? Is that an indication of anything? It you know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously we look at the words that are clearly evaluative, but also are we looking at other things that you are, that immediately give you a feeling for how close that writer is to you?
I don't know.
I don't think,
I thought it was just
I just think it's just the opening, it's just a statement, and because they're not
Yeah.
distancing themselves or affirming themselves to a piece
It's
of
a
writing.
politeness formula, really, I suppose, isn't it?
Well,
But it is genuine curiosity.
Here, look at this, anticipates possible responses
Yeah.
So
and seeks
waiting,
support. So
you're waiting to know if it's positive or
Yeah.
negative, asking if there's
Yeah.
a positive or negative.
Waiting
Yeah.
for the next letter.
Yeah.
to
So
come
what
back.
would it
So,
be
yeah,
then?
I think probably
Proclamation?
Well, if we were going to put something to it, that would be the only one.
That's the only one that would fit, isn't it?
about anticipates.
Well, it's just in the opening here.
It's just in the opening, yeah. And
Speaker
seeking
writes,
support.
responds to something, affirms, anticipates possible responses.
The actual proclamation includes pronouncements of personal statements.
Statements.
It's not an endorsement of what
Just it's
someone
implying
said.
something,
No.
doesn't
No.
it?
Yeah,
Which way?
Um,
I mean, to me,
Yeah, I think the
Pronouncements of
examples are not
personal
very
statements.
good. because- I mean, they're not
Don't
encompassing, all encompassing. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what John says, but
But the examples are things like I deny that men are
Yeah,
apes.
I know, they're not.
Yeah.
They don't include anywhere you've got the writer anticipating a possible response. I reckon it would be good to have an example of that.
Anyway, I'll shut up, but I don't think that's got anything.
What I've been doing very well is a pronouncement of a
Yes.
personal statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
The second sentence.
Yeah,
Very well.
so that's very personal, so that's a proclamation?
Yeah.
Okay, under engagement.
It's the
Okay.
very well part.
Oh, and a very,
That the force
Yeah.
as well.
So that's intensity.
intensity is the very, yeah. And then the well is
there's a fair bit
positive.
of kind of attitude.
What was that one?
That's
And the
positive
last two
force.
sentences goes
When you're talking about how you are doing, it's a positive attribute
Yeah.
with a person,
Yeah, positive force.
which would be
No,
under
it's
judgment.
really, I had no,
Where is that one?
it is,
No,
that's
it's
right.
here,
It's
and
a
it
whole
would have,
fact.
not this
There's
page,
no
but
appraisal
the
going
next
on there.
page here,
Yeah.
positive force.
And yes, we think
He's a highly active
structurally
child,
thing.
All
doing
right.
very well.
She's got a list.
Instead
of several
yeah,
you know,
things.
Negative
then
alternative.
then you've got the
Oh, okay, yeah. So,
repetition and
So,
singing
this might be invoked.
louder down. It's getting quieter
Like
and quieter.
indirectly, he or
That's
she
Okay.
is saying.
I need some more examples of the.
There we
Yeah,
are.
yeah, it's a bit like
It's
your
an
point.
intensifier.
Like,
Intensity is either
you know,
scarred
you
up
don't
or
know
down.
whether
Alvin
she
was a
is
little
implying this or
very
not.
disorientated. There are sometimes or always
Could
late.
we-
For this one, I'm feeling very well.
This person
But
might
that's-
be a bit more.
It's
Oh, now I'm having
Yeah.
a wow of time because, you know, I'm doing so many more
Positive
different
force,
things.
yeah.
All
What
right.
about the next two sentences? They're just statements of fact.
I got a job. Yeah, fact. I work for credit
It
card.
does seem, in
Fact.
the logic of
Okay,
the
I
narrative.
That
like
just,
working there.
I like working
Yeah,
for
trying to do-
Okay,
And then we've got what?
that's an engagement.
I liked,
yeah.
yes.
Good at first, then quieter, boring, boring.
That would be
Then neutral.
proclamation.
Yeah.
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 Announcements of personal statements.
Right.
Uh,
So engagement proclamation.
Even something like much more interesting,
Yeah.
some phrase like that.
I liked working there
More variety.
in the
Yeah.
first
Something
2 months.
more
Mm.
exciting.
It was pretty busy.
Pretty.
That's
So
intensity.
that's force.
Intensity, the force again.
The G force.
Then getting quieter.
Now hang on
No,
a
is that a
tick. What
statement?
about busy?
Busy.
Isn't that a
One of
statement?
those.
Is that that's a bit of a negative, isn't it?
Or is it just a fact?
It's a word of judgment,
Mm.
attitude,
which comes under.
under attitude.
Yeah,
How do you
that's
do it?
true
Hello.
about
Hello.
a.
Marina was
Oh,
asking for me to look at something, but
Oh,
obviously not. It's fine.
Marina.
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's none of us.
No.
it isn't,
Sorry.
because I recognise Marina very well, so
Yeah.
just as if I weren't here.
So this business of being
Force
busy
and attitude.
is
The positive force, pretty,
Very
that's
good.
force,
Great.
married
Yes.
with attitude.
with attitude, which would be is attitude to
Yeah,
do
right.
with but which part of attitude?
It's the judgment.
probably.
Non-human,
Yeah.
though.
Like if
Yeah, human
Human.
behaviour, judgment in attitude.
That's right, like
Yeah.
engagement and some of those
engagement
things.
thinks it's more
So
like
that's
the right to
attitude
Exactly.
and judgment.
Yeah, you're arguing a position. That's right.
Then it was pretty busy. Then obviously got
Getting quieter and quieter. Now that
I guess it depends if you're kind of concentrating on Mary said things that, you know, I didn't really
Yes.
believe it.
under repetition.
You still get that sort of, yeah,
yes, synonym.
yeah.
Yeah, synonym. Yeah,
And she's playing, you know.
which is
Tried
so
and tried.
G-force again.
So even on that personal level, you can still get it, but, yeah, it's often
Although
common.
also would it be under attitude and judgment the fact that it's quieter?
Where's
It's pretty
busy's
good on that
judgment?
classical
Quieter
level.
has to
Well,
be
that's
judgment too,
exactly
doesn't it?
right, yeah.
And judgment.
As well as
Yeah, it
Or
sort of
like
dies
a
away.
Like John
attitude.
was saying, it can be both.
So-
It can be both, yeah.
Okay.
Then I quitted that company.
Well,
Hang on, what about I was getting bored?
Oh, bored.
I got bored.
Bored. Emotion.
So that's definitely a statement where they're engaging.
Attitude.
I got bored. Well, he certainly subscribes to a particular position.
emotion.
Would it be engagement proclamation?
Emotion.
Looks like an emotion to me.
All right.
So that goes under
Attitude
judgment.
and judgment again, is that right?
Yeah, I will agree. Yeah.
Is it under, it's not the
appreciation for emotion.
That's right.
So it's just, we just put emotion.
Okay, so
Emotions on the back next.
again, I'll whiz through this and mention how Helen and I looked at it, and then no doubt there will be other extras we can throw in. Okay, I've been doing very well. Yeah, so very force, isn't it? Well. Positive, is it, what do you think there? I've been doing very well.
We wondered if it was under proclamation engagement. Oh,
Well,
no, hang
it's
on.
a form of appreciation.
We actually went back to,
Yeah,
yeah,
What is it, Alf?
I think we did actually end up saying that it was under, is it under attitude and
yeah, isn't
under
it?
emotion, under effect?
You've been doing very well.
Hang on, wait. I find it hard to follow. It's attitude and then,
I would say it's not emotion, it's not an expression of emotion.
It's more like appreciation, isn't it? Like it's looking at my
Yeah,
life kind of from the outside and saying,
isn't that just
Is it
of
a
objects
judgment?
though? Appreciation?
you could say, oh well, this is about behaviour, human behaviour. I've been doing, therefore it's judgment.
I was going to say, it
But-
sounds more like judgment.
Yeah.
And it's not moral or legal, is it? It's just about,
Well, yeah. If you look further down, under I think it's under social
it's
esteem,
social esteem, yeah.
and it's
yeah.
something to do with like competence or capacity.
Yeah, that's right.
Judgment and social esteem.
Yeah.
Plus.
So obviously a positive there.
Yeah.
I got a job a month after I arrived in Tokyo. Ben, do you want to make that interesting point you made it here?
oh, I was just thinking, again, looking at that area of force, like generally I think this person's got a lot more tools that she can use to talk about force, but this one sounds like it's crying out for an only a month or a whole month,
To
like,
show achievement
Yeah.
somehow,
yeah,
Yeah.
to show that it's early, that it's expected, or later than expected.
Or even if they had an adverb like amazingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well that's an interesting one.
Mm.
So what if I'll put up in green what they need? It seems like there's only, or then you were saying a whole month, weren't you? Like
Yeah, so it could.
either depends what they want to mean.
Yeah, it could mean, wow, it only took me a month, or God, it took me a month.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that-
Amazingly is an interesting
and
one.
the fact that they said I've been doing very well
Yeah,
suggests
yeah,
that it was
suggests-
quick.
Yeah.
So I got a job only.
Yeah.
Only a month.
Amazing.
We're not saying that they need to put the word only in there.
No.
No.
Well,
But to
it
be
does
more
depend.
precise or
Yeah.
subtle in the meaning,
That's right.
they could add, fortunately or luckily or amazingly,
Yeah.
just.
It depends if that's what they were trying to mean, isn't it? So it's a question of
I
Does
can
it
see
relate
with
to
this,
purpose?
we'd always go over the word count with all, with using more of the, these
Yeah.
techniques.
yeah, true. I worked for a credit company as a receptionist. That's just a straight bald fact. No appraisal there. I liked working there, so emotion pretty directly. At first 2 months. Now, for the first 2 months, that's in a way a bit of force about like. I liked it, but there was a limit on it. I only liked it for the first 2 months. So this is an expression of force. So for the first, was it 2 months?
Yeah.
Done pretty well. It's a quantity, a time. So time quantity. Showing the limits of how much they liked it. Actually had a limit on it.
That's also the idea of at first,
Yeah.
but after.
Exactly.
Or
Yeah.
they could have even written, but only for,
Yeah.
but only for the first 2 months.
Yeah. That contrastive element would